Rwanda has been ranked as the sixth fastest growing economy in Africa, therefore drawing more investors in 2024. From green economy to agriculture to financial services to manufacturing lies a myriad of opportunities for potential partnership between Rwanda and the UK. Welcome to this episode of Doing Business in Rwanda, where we focus on the inaugural UK-Rwanda Business Forum, a forum that has brought together business leaders, Rwanda leaders, as well as investors to showcase the investment opportunities in Rwanda's rapidly growing economy, the business climate, as well as the potential business opportunities in Rwanda. I'm your host, Flora Limuki. The UK-Rwanda Business Forum has drawn more than 1,200 people from 60 different nationalities and 130 UK investors seeking potential trade and investment ties between the two nations.
We are focusing on 6 different areas. The first of those is agriculture and horticulture. Now that is actually an area that we have had a historic relationship with Rwanda. We buy a lot of Rwandan tea and coffee. We're increasingly buying flowers, but we think there's scope to do more with vegetables and other things. But the other 5 areas, whether it's on manufacturing, infrastructure, financial and professional services, critical minerals, or the green economy, those are all areas that there is a lot of potential in Rwanda and where we have a lot of expertise in the UK. So we think together those 6 areas are where we should focus on in this forum. But the other area that I think it's not just true in Rwanda, it's true in other African countries, but particularly here, we're seeing a real drive in African innovation, in tech, in services that are really starting to grow here. And traditionally those things have come from the West to Africa, but we're starting to see them now be developed here and go elsewhere. So I'd like to see that increase too.
The potential is huge, and I'm glad that President Kagame and his team are now putting up infrastructure and logistics to produce more and sell more. What has really helped us and Rwanda is that we have now built a bridge between UK and Rwanda. We had the Commonwealth meeting last year here. We have now direct flight 7 days a week to London, Kigali, London, which never was before. One, Rwanda is welcoming. They have that political will to do better for their country, and the ease of doing business is they're ranked number 2 in Africa. So Rwanda has a great attraction here. The key areas is financial services. Rwanda wants to be a hub for financial services, agriculture. We are building on that. 65% of people work on agriculture. We just had coffee tasting this morning. 120 million export of coffee. It's
really interesting to see countries like Rwanda, Mozambique, Gabon, Togo, countries that weren't actually traditionally, if you like, part of the sort of UK's history in Africa, becoming members of the Commonwealth. And there's a lot of evidence to show that, that organisation is becoming something much more than perhaps it might have been in the past. And people want to join because it adds value. It's another forum for bringing people together. And there's actually quite a lot of evidence that shows that Commonwealth countries trading together, the costs of that trade are lower. There are fewer barriers to that trade. Africa has a lack of logistics infrastructure. There's a lot of friction in business between borders. So I think as the transport infrastructure develops, logistics infrastructure develops, as there's greater customs integration, all of those things will make things easier. And I think one of the characteristics of Africa as a region as a whole, it has very low levels of intra-regional trade, and that's the type of trade that adds a lot of value.
The success of this forum is underpinned on the deals signed at the forum and also investors who have now moved their operations to Rwanda, with a lot of prospects from many other institutions to expand their businesses to Rwanda this year.
Today, connectivity from Rwanda, both from an internet perspective, is easy. Talent is everywhere now. Connectivity through Rwanda Air, especially in traveling across Africa, and then also the stability here as well, right? Both from a political perspective, but a financial perspective, and there's a lot of optimism in the market, and that optimism is quite contagious. So we only did what feels very natural, is that we started here and we've decided now to be able to be located here as we expand our African vision of providing access to clean energy and clean cooking and mobility across the continent. This link has existed before so I feel a pioneer in that link between, and on a practical example, before the conferences existed and before the ministers maybe had that level of relationship with each other. But it's only natural. I mean, if you really think about it, it's a very natural relationship, because the UK is known for its innovation, it's known for its education, it's known for its ability to engage with the world at large. And Rwanda is known for being able to absorb innovation, talent, good ideas, and also to be able to actually create like-mindedness. And I think from that perspective, it's really a relationship of equals. It's a relationship that has mutual benefits. And so I'm quite excited to see the first such event taking place. From an investment perspective, look, meetings are important. You're looking to people eye to eye, understanding, overcoming misconceptions on both sides. So I think this is what these sort of meetings help to do. But in terms of putting dollars to the table, I think it will take a little bit of time as people figure out what are the right things to do. But already a lot is happening, and I'm sure a lot more will happen.
And I think what the opportunity is here is for UK-based entities who are right across financial services, from the banks, the insurers, the asset managers, the stock exchanges, the lawyers and accountants. All of them are looking for growth opportunities, and Rwanda represents a really excellent opportunity for future growth. But one of the things that these companies are all looking for is a really good operating environment. So one of the things that the UK has been known for many years is a global centre for finance. Mm-hmm. And so understanding what investors are looking for, how to set up the right conditions to bring in investors and offer them the access to the market that they're looking for. That expertise is something we can bring to Rwanda, mm-hmm. and partner with groups like the Kigali International Financial Centre to help to bring in the expertise from across the UK, but also to allow the UK companies to establish here and take advantage of what's a really good, strong growth story. Because if you're looking to service the Rwandan market or other parts of Africa, you need to develop solutions and products that are really fit for purpose here and really respond to the consumer needs in the market. So tapping into that expertise and the fintech, sort of companies that are here in Rwanda is a great way for some of the UK companies to learn how to do business here and to really test out new products and solutions.
What is fascinating about Rwanda is the fact that there are welcoming policies, right, that are in place to enable growth for startups, for businesses, even for investors. Say, for example, now the open banking, the data privacy protection is already in place since, if I'm not mistaken, October 15, 2021 or 2018, thereabout, right, in Rwanda. So this shows that the country in Rwanda itself is actually ripe for growth in the financial space. That's one. And two, one of the major things that attracts me to Rwanda is the fact that they have this, what they're trying to build in Rwanda is the fact that it's going to be the next hub, like the next center for growth.
Along with building new partnerships, Rwanda and the UK's existing partnership in the aviation sector has witnessed exponential growth as the two nations look forward to strengthening their ties, including increasing the number of flights to London.
This is an opportunity for us, as always. With Rwanda and the UK government have always been very good buddies. We've always been very good friends, and that's the positive for us. We've also that actually given on the right political and economic climate has also helped us to be able to, like you had in the plenary session, the UK, that's London, happened to be Rwanda's first international destination when we started launching out internationally. So what you have now, we go to the UK 6 times. We were actually going there 3 times before, but now 6. So we collaborate with key industry players over there, identify them, and give them provide very juicy travel options for them, and we're able to actually attract them to Rwanda. In fact, the good thing again is that we have RDB, the Rwandan Development Board, who's most times when you see the RODB in the UK, we always align with them, visit the UK also with them. We go as a group. We actually, because we as Rwandans, we are involved in the business of travel. So we always ensure that, okay, as we strike business, we are there to facilitate the travel. So we're always there. In terms of cargo, you can see we have a dedicated cargo. The good news, as you've heard also in plenary today, is that we've had growth there've been tremendous growth, like 9.4%, even in the last quarter. In trade between Rwanda and Nigeria, between Rwanda and London.
Apart from accessing the business climate in Rwanda, this forum also presented an opportunity for local firms to showcase their successes and wonderful female-led businesses.
And I think this is a very good time for a brand awareness. It's a very good time to expose yourself, make your brand known, and since this is like our first collection and it's a startup company, so we need exposure, we need people to know our name. So this is a very good opportunity to do that. In business, probably we didn't sell that much, but our name is known because you find a person coming here and go, oh, it's Vet Jewelry, we know your brand, and that's enough as it is for a business that's starting up.
Well, the exhibition itself has been extremely busy. I believe they had over 600 to 1,000 visitors, which has been very successful for obviously the British High Commission. As a business that's here in Rwanda, it has brought a lot of interest and awareness to my company, but as a small business or micro business here, some of my colleagues here, it's not been as successful for us as we would have liked it to be. We would have liked to have more attention, and maybe some of us doing some open, walk-ins with some of the investors, or some of us being interviewed earlier to maybe, help bring awareness to the small businesses here in Rwanda.
On that note, we conclude the UK-Rwanda Business Forum on this episode of Doing Business in Rwanda, focusing on the potential partnerships between Rwanda and the UK, and also how to strengthen the bilateral ties between the two nations. I've been your host, Flora Limuki. Until next time, goodbye.